My name is Angie-Neh Galván-Rodríguez. I am Dominicana, raised in Puerto Rico and Chicago, and this is my story. I have a passion for education. I think that my mom really took the time, and my dad, they were both very intentional about letting me know and instilling in me that education is the window to the world, right? Like education will allow you to open up different paths and opportunities. My mom came from a very impoverished neighborhood in Dominican Republic. So she knows the importance of hard work and having to get your education. In her case, she did everything she could to get her education. As a hairstylist, she went to school in the DR, she went to school in Puerto Rico, she came to Chicago, she had to go to school again. So she knows that if she wanted to put food on the table, if she wanted to progress and succeed, she had to get an education in whatever way possible she could. In her case, that was her field. But they always both told me, like, you always got to give your 110% in school. You respect your teachers, you learn as best as you can, you open your mind and be ready for education, be ready for school, be ready to learn, because that will be an opportunity for you to make something for yourself. Living in Puerto Rico, I remember playing with Play-Doh and then wanting a specific Play-Doh. And I remember getting into like this little dispute with this other little girl. And I guess her way of getting back at me in the argument is that she told me that tú eres fea porque tienes el pelo malo y eres negra. At that moment, I think that was the first time I realized that I was like negra. I was like, okay, I'm brown based on our crayons. It looks like I'm brown, not black. So it was a really interesting experience because I went back home and then I told my mom, crying, like, what is this? Like, why am I being treated differently because of the color of my skin? So I was really confused in my hair. And fast forward later on in my adulthood, I have a child and she goes through the same thing in kindergarten, comes home crying, somebody making fun of her hair, saying that es pelo malo, nappy hair. And I think that was, again, a reflection of sometimes society, right? Like sometimes we exclude people from our circles, or we exclude people from our spaces because they're different from us. And I think she was experiencing that. And we all, in some way or the other, experience that in life. In our case, was, because of our hair, because it was coily and curly. Growing up in a beauty salon, specifically a Dominican hair salon, is one of the most unique but amazing experiences. And I'll tell you why. So as I said, my mom is a Dominican hairstylist. So I grew up in a beauty shop. I grew up in a beauty salon. From Puerto Rico to here. And it's just funny because you're like, I was always like that fly on the wall, right? I will help my mom, or I will sweep the floor, or I will eventually, when I got older, I will wash people's, hairs. I was the shampoo girl. But the stories that you hear in the beauty salon are the best because you hear everything, right? You hear who broke up with who is not being faithful to who is having a celebration and they're getting married and they're excited, who just got, graduated from the university, who's proud of their child, of one of the accomplishments. You hear all these narratives of women, and these narratives, the good, the bad, and the ugly, are somewhat this beautiful energy that surrounds the beauty shop and makes you feel in community. So in my early 20s, I met this guy, and he was Puerto Rican. I remember I was an undergrad and I was, all passionate about Latin American studies and being proud of who you are as a Latino. And so I was at a party, I was invited to a party, and I see this guy dragging the Puerto Rican flag, not intentionally, but we had just finished watching the Trinidad fight. And he was so sad about the Trinidad fight. He was so sad. And then he's like accidentally dragging it. And I said, hey, don't drag the flag. Like, that's disrespectful to your country. You need to pick that up. Me de presentar, because he probably could have been like, girl, you need to stop. But I didn't care. I was very, very adamant about people respecting flags. So he picks it up and we had small talk, and all the entire time he's not looking in my eyes. Like, he just would not look. And I was like, that's so weird. What's wrong with him? But whatever, I was just talking small talk. Come to find out, that entire summer, because this happened in September, that entire summer he had seen me at different festivals and parties, and he had been having a crush on me all summer. So when I speak to him for the first time at this party, that we had friends in common, he was like frozen. He was like, I cannot believe she's finally speaking to me. So what turned into, a small talk turned into a friendship, and that friendship turned into a relationship, and we got married, and we have 2 children. My name is Angie Galván-Rodríguez. Soy Dominicana y soy Chicago.